If you were to ask me what was the movie that helped me realize why Roger Moore was such a singular Bond, you'd probably guess Moonraker. And to your credit, it would be a good guess. Alas, this would be untrue. Matter of fact, it was Octopussy. To understand my meaning, you have to compare the two with one simple question. Which one had Bond doing the silliest things? When you weigh one and the other, this one is a clear winner. In this one, we've got Bond defusing a nuclear bomb dressed as a clown. He storms a castle with an army of circus acrobats. He plays possum and then scares them off by making cartoon ghoul noises. He then swings away on a vine making Tarzan noises, and yet we keep giving this hell. He then infiltrates a fortress in a mini-sub that looks like an alligator. The reason this one helped define why Moore was such a unique Bond? Only he could get away with doing all this silliness. Think about it. Could you ever see Craig, Dalton, or Connery fly a mini-jet that was cunningly concealed as a horse's ass? No. Only Moore could do this, and this film epitomizes everything that you couldn't help but love about the Roger Moore era. Now, this isn't to mean that the film is just a feature-length A-Team episode. Actually, to this film's credit, it actually has a strong grasp of tone. There are moments that it gets dark, when it really wants to. VJ's brutal buzzsaw death is a prime example. Even the opening scene where 009 dies is an outstanding opening scene because of the escalating tension brought about by the total absence of a score. The scene is still rife with tension, and yet 009 was still dressed up as a clown, and that's saying something. Octopussy just has this innate ability to just roll with the madness and still have moments of legitimate thrills. The fight scene with the buzzsaw assassin is a standout scene. The train sequence is a wonder to behold, particularly when you remember that all of these scenes are done for real. These were the days when there was an all-or-nothing vibe to the stunts. The stuntman hanging off the side of the train actually got severely injured when he timed the layout of the track incorrectly. The dedication of the stuntmen on the Bond films has always been a cause for study and reflection. And when your franchise has a scene when two of your stuntmen are perilously hanging onto a jet while it's in flight, doing a fight scene, and being forced to do take after take because they fall off, whew. You can definitely appreciate the work and the craftsmanship that goes into making these movies, and Octopussy is the movie where it's the most prevalent. Another strong precedent this movie set is one that's normally reserved for Doctor Who, namely the recasting of an actress who had been in a prior Bond film. When this movie was in pre-production, Cubby Broccoli was trying to find a new Bond to cast since Moore was set on leaving. And while he was screen testing actors, he asked Maud Adams to come in and read for the title character as they test new actors for Bond. Adams impressed them so much that they just flat out cast her in the role of Octopussy. And since Moore obligingly returned to the role, it was serendipitous because the chemistry between the two is without a doubt the best of Moore's era. When you honestly can't imagine anyone else but Adams playing this role, that's a testament to how perfect she was in this role. Another incredibly strong pro on this movie is the villain Kamal Khan, played with smooth aplomb by Louis Jourdan. Like Christopher Lee, Donald Pleasance, and Sean Bean, this man was destined to play a Bond villain, and he does not disappoint. He's charming as he is cunning, and ruthless as he is lethal. He makes you not want to be angry at him, even if his machinations could lead to the death of thousands. And that's the mark of a great Bond villain. If there's anything that drags this movie down, is that the plot is a bit of a jumble. That's the major con of the film. As ostensibly outlandish as this one is, for all the circus folk, the jewel smuggling, and the human hunts, somehow they're trying to fit the major plot of a rogue Russian officer trying to strengthen the USSR by blowing up a US Army base. Bond has always had a wonderful penchant for using current events as a springboard for the plot. Sometimes it just doesn't fit. Granted, Die Another Day definitely takes the top spot for failing most at this concept. Octopussy was just another that didn't gel the way it should. But hey, at least this one made an effort and still had enough going for it to make it an all-time high.